WLOX News at 5.
Ice and bridges are a dangerous combination across South Mississippi.
Tonight, many remain closed, and the bridges that are open are treacherous. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Most of the ice, sleet, and snow that fell across the area is still on the ground. More importantly, the roads and bridges.
Our temperatures barely made it above freezing today, so that means very little melted. Now here's a live look at Highway 90 in Biloxi, and as you can see, the roadway is still wet, and all that moisture will freeze again tonight. And because the driving dangers will remain tomorrow, most schools will be closed again, although Gulfport schools will open and start 1 hour later.
Biloxi school leaders just confirmed moments ago there will not be class tomorrow, but listen to this. Teachers and staff must report. So much of that decision is really tied to the bridges. Jeff Lawson joins us now from the Pops Ferry Bridge in Biloxi with the very latest with what's happening with that bridge. Jeff.
Yeah, Dave and Karen, as we all know, yesterday when they closed this bridge, there were two issues, one being a mechanical issue. That has been resolved. The other issue, of course, weather-related, and clearly that has not been resolved. An estimated 30,000 vehicles every day use this bridge, and it remains closed. In terms of when it will open, the answer to that is we don't have the answer to that. I just spoke about an hour ago with Jackie Rose, Public Information Officer for the Biloxi Police Department, and he said the determination will be made by the Police Department and Public Works as well. What they're looking for, they of course want to make sure there were no slippery spots on that bridge. And quite frankly, 5 minutes ago I walked up just a short portion, and I assure you there are still many slippery spots on the Pops Ferry Road Bridge. So it's an inconvenience, but city officials obviously and wisely so will be sure they are extra cautious about this. Nobody knows. Will it be tonight? I can only speculate and say very, very unlikely that will happen, because as the temperatures drop, of course, those icy spots get even worse. So will it be tomorrow morning? That all depends on what the weather does, and our weather people, of course, keeping us well informed exactly what has been happening and what will happen as the hours go on. But again, for now, bottom line, Pops Ferry Road Bridge is closed indefinitely. We'll let you know on WLOX News and all social platforms as well when it reopens. I'm Jeff Lawson, live in front of the closed Pops Ferry Road Bridge. Back to the studio.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And the Pops Ferry Bridge, of course, isn't the only Biloxi bridge closed this evening. Yeah, a lot of attention has been focused on the I-110. Michelle Lady is live from Highway 90 with more on that.
Dave and Karen, as you can see, the barricades are right behind me. They're not covering the road right now, but that wasn't the case earlier today. For much of the day, this ramp to I-110 has been closed, as well as several other ramps. At one point during the day, the only way to get from I-110 in Biloxi was from the Division Street ramp. Now, all these closures have been causing quite confusion for those braving the icy roads. Bridges coated with frozen sleet, ramps to get onto the interstate glazed over with ice.
Yeah, we have to drive slow, yeah.
It's a dangerous combination South Mississippi drivers are not used to, which is why police officers are not taking any chances.
I am having a tough time getting around, trying to go out hunting, and I can't seem to get to I-10 from here. Everything's closed.
The Biloxi Ocean Springs Bridge, the Pops Ferry Bridge, and many of the I-110 ramps were closed for part of the day. At one time, the only way to get onto I-110 from Biloxi was the Division Street ramp.
We've had quite a few stranded cars.
Some of those stuck chose to break the law and drive through police barriers.
We had two that got stuck on the loop. Last night we had to send a unit up to get them. The unit got stuck, so we had to walk them down. And we had one person on the Biloxi Ocean Springs Bridge that got stuck way up near the span, so we had to walk up and walk them back.
For the most part, though, Chief John Miller says he is happy with the way drivers have been responding to the wintry mess.
A lot of people are taking the advice, and I think they're using common sense. They see the ice, they realize what peril they're in, and they're just lowering their speed. So we really been proud of the public.
Some people have found very creative ways to get around these closures. I've seen two people walking over to the bridge to get around, and I also saw one person riding his bike over the bridge. So if you have to be out, I can't stress enough, just be careful on the roads. Dave and Karen.
All righty, thank you, Michelle. Kind of cold walking and riding a bike over those bridges, though.
Definitely, but that's one way to do it. Well, it will be another frigid night as well. So let's go to meteorologist Carrie Duncan for details on just how cold it will be tonight. Carrie.
Well, it should tell you we have a hard freeze warning in effect. It's going to be very cold. Those icy roads are going to remain here in South Mississippi, and we will start to see slow clearing. We're already seeing a little bit of sunshine. That's helped melt a little bit, but our temperatures are already falling again. We have those temperatures right now, 32 in Moss Point, 33 Biloxi, 34 in Gulfport and Stennis, 30 in Hattiesburg. Temperatures inland are definitely on the colder side. Now, Biloxi at Boomtown Casino reporting 31, Waveland 32, but Pascagoula, Navigator Credit Union in downtown Pascagoula, it's 30 degrees. Singing River Electric in Lucedale, 28. Lucedale, they did not get out of the 20s, which leads us to believe that folks in George County, Stone County, Pearl River County, probably none of you got out of the 20s today. I've already seen some pictures out of George County from Kenny Flanagan. He sent some in saying that at 4 o'clock, already refreezing and really probably continuing to see that freeze because those temperatures are so cold. When the winds pick up, it feels even colder. We do still have some cloud cover, but notice it's starting to dissipate. We will see more than likely mostly clear skies tonight. All of the moisture is going to push off toward the east, and we are going to see that hard freeze because clearing conditions and the winds are going to decrease. We're going to see maximum radiational cooling, which means we're going to be very cold because the temperatures will drop again below freezing early. We're already at 31.8, so we're right at freezing right now. Those wet surfaces are going to refreeze. Ice is going to remain into tomorrow morning, so you need to, if you haven't already, make those freeze preparations. The pipes will freeze inland. A quick peek at what the temperatures are going to do. Fall. That's really the key word. Fall, 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 all the way to the low 20s. Wind chills in the single digits inland and in the teens along the coast. I'll let you know when we're going to warm up and when we can expect some of that ice to melt coming up in just a little bit.
Thanks, Carrie. Yeah, I'm waiting for those temperatures to rise. Driving on Cowan-Lorraine is still a challenge, and the Wilkes Drawbridge remains closed tonight. It was one of the first bridges to close on Tuesday. Those steel grates in the bridges, well, they're just holding on to the ice.
Hancock County leaders say the precautions taken in that county helped prevent a repeat of the traffic nightmare they saw last Friday night. Now, most of the roads and bridges in Hancock County reopened by mid-afternoon today. But as Al Showers reports, as we continue our team coverage, there was one exception, the Bay St. Louis Bridge.
3 of the 4 major bridges in Hancock County are now open. Cars maneuvered the I-10 Pearl River Bridge and the Jordan River bridges on 10 and on Highway 603 with ease. Drivers trying to cross the Bay St. Louis Bridge on Highway 90 were not as lucky.
I've been running this stuff ever since Texas, so I'm going to have to find a place to go.
The Bay Bridge has been closed since about 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Bay St. Louis Police Chief Mark Donardo says the bridge will likely be closed much of the day, possibly all day. Of course, this is presenting problems for drivers trying to cross the bridge. Drivers like truck driver Travis Ward. Where are you headed?
Heading Jacksonville, Florida.
And it's been tough?
It's been tough, and it's going to get worse.
The police chief says right now the bridge is not safe to travel. It's basically completely iced over.
Is there a way around this?
They said I-10 was open.
All right, well, how can I get to I-10 from here?
Just go back to 90 to 603 and go north.
Okay.
Be your best route.
All right.
Just be careful, man.
All right, appreciate it.
We don't know what we're getting tonight. You know, it really depends on the moisture left on the road and the timing of the freezing and the cold weather.
Hancock County Emergency Management Director Brian Adams says residents should stay off the roads.
Stay home at all possible, and if they must go out on the road, use extreme caution.
In Hancock County, Al Showers, WLOX News.
And the curfew put into place in Hancock County last night has been lifted.
The icy blast has impacted businesses up and down the Mississippi coast, and that includes the hospitality industry. Doug Walker tonight with that story.
I'm standing inside the toasty warm Hampton Inn off Highway 609, Washington Avenue, north of Ocean Springs. The inclement weather that descended on the coast yesterday and is going to be here for the next couple of days has definitely had an impact on the hotel and motel industry on the Gulf Coast. Some have seen some benefits, some have not. Here at the Hampton Inn, they actually lost some business because of the weather. I talked to the manager. He explained it.
We were sold out Monday and Tuesday. We only had one room left. And then because of the weather, we had a lot of cancellations, and we dropped down to, 40% full. Yeah.
Anybody decided to extend their stay because of the weather?
Several did. We had probably about 5 or 6 that did stay over because they couldn't get out because the roads iced up real quickly after sunset.
I also canvassed a couple of other hotels at the intersection of I-10 and Highway 609, Washington Avenue. Some of the hotel managers told me they did see some people coming off the interstate and stopping by, staying the night. They also say they had customers extending their stays because of the weather. So again, the inclement weather here in South Mississippi, this deep freeze we've been experiencing, definitely having an impact on the hotel industry. Doug Walker, WLOX News.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, the winter weather has caused plenty of problems for adults.
But for kids in South Mississippi, snow, sleet, and ice, nothing but fun. We'll show you next.